Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. It's preview and prediction time because, of course, we have Ryan Garcia challenging Devin Haney for the WBC super lightweight title. That's this coming weekend. I want to say it's the 20th. Is it 20th on Saturday? I forget. Anyway, before I start, let me just say I'm not convinced this fight even goes ahead. I'm still thinking Garcia could drop out or be pulled out. You don't need me to rehash the whole, mental health, behavioural issues that he's shown. It's very, very disturbing to see, and you have to wonder about the people around him. I don't think he really belongs in a boxing ring if he's still in that place. A few people have said they think he's kind of either putting it on or emphasising it or exaggerating it in order to create a sort of false illusion that he's going to get destroyed. And really he's actually honed in. And there have been cases in the past where people who've struggled outside of the ring have regarded the being actually in a fight inside the ring as some kind of sort of haven. It's where they can operate best. It's almost like the chaos they feel in their head outside the ring. Once they get in the ring, it all becomes clear and makes some sort of sense. Now, I have doubts whether that would apply to Garcia. I really do. Garcia, of course, is still a very young man. He's only 25. And I think he's already going through a divorce, or he is divorced. He's got kids, I think. He's had a lot in his 25 years. But, of course, the whole social media thing is a bit of a monster that can consume you to the point where you mistake it for being reality, which of course it isn't. Contrast this with Devin Haney, and Garcia and Haney grew up together. They fought each other 6 times in the amateurs at various points. He's also 25, but you couldn't find a more contrasting individual in terms of temperament, nature, character. Haney is a consummate professional, undefeated in 31 fights, 15 knockouts, no draws, no defeats. 25 years old, undisputed lightweight champ. You know about Devin Haney, of course you do. Extremely talented, very, very dedicated practitioner, quite religious. I think his religion is a major sort of pinnacle in his life, at the pinnacle of his life, you could say. Last seen almost whitewashing. I think he did whitewash, actually, Regis Prograis to collect the belt. Prior to that, that's the WBC super lightweight belt. Prior to that, he was undisputed at lightweight 135. Won a contentious decision over Vasyl Lomachenko. I didn't think it was the great robbery people said it was, but it was close. You can certainly make a case for Lomachenko winning that fight. Prior to that, he beat George Kambosos twice, went over to Australia. Credit to Kambosos for taking on Haney twice, but he was never at the races. Both very wide decisions in favour of Haney. And he's fought other people. Gamboa, what was left of Gamboa, he won a decision over him. Linares won a decision over him. Got shaken in the final round against Linares. Relatively close cards. A couple of 116, 112s and a 115, 113. Whereas the Gamboa one was, I think it was another whitewash. Or I think he floored Gamboa as well in that fight. Or there might have been a point taken off. There was something happened in that fight. Anyway, Gamboa got whitewashed and he was finished anyway. Joseph Diaz was another one that Haney beat on points. Jojo Diaz, he didn't do too bad against Haney. He won rounds anyway, and since then his career has pretty much collapsed. And he was brought up correctly, Haney, very, very quickly, turned pro very, very young. But he is the absolute antithesis of the sort of media darling, the celebrity type that Garcia seems to sort of indulge in. Garcia, last seen beating, actually knocking out in 8 rounds, Oscar Duarte. Prior to that was last year. That was in November, December, back in the last year. And then earlier on in the year, he got done in 7 rounds by a body punch by Gervonta Davis. Essentially, he quit. He could have got up, but didn't. And he's beaten people like Javier Fortuna. Luke Campbell, of course, had him on the floor. Manuel Tego, that was a decision win. but he struggled with the discipline and the out of the ring mental health issues and so on. Eddie Reynoso used to train him. He wasn't disciplined enough for the Canelo team, so Reynoso said, off you go, bye-bye. Then I think Joe Goosen looked after him for a few fights. Yeah, look, I mean, you can keep changing your trainers like you change your underpants, but if you ain't got the discipline and if you haven't got the temperament, I mean, you're on to a loser, really. So we'll see. You know, yeah, I still don't feel comfortable with the idea of Garcia being in the ring. I think there's too many question marks. But how do I see the fight going? Well, you don't need me to tell you the styles. Garcia, box fighter, likes to come forward, can be aggressive, but boxes well. Good skills, very good skills. Haney, beautiful back foot boxer, lovely jab. How do I see it going? I see Garcia trying to be aggressive, Haney containing him for the first 3 rounds, maybe 2-3 rounds. Then I think Haney will become a bit more industrious. I think once he gets hold of the range and controls the tempo and the range, I see him sitting down his punches a bit more, taking over in the middle rounds. Garcia getting a little bit frustrated. And with this type of thing, you can't rule out Garcia quitting again, or maybe just retiring in his corner, or so. You just can't rule out anything like that. But I think if the going gets tough, Garcia will quit, and I think the going will get tough around about round 6, 7, 8, and that's what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick a victory by a sort of a cumulative, death by 1,000 jabs or something. But I think you'll see Haney firing the right cross and throwing some hooks in there as well. But he'll, as he always does with Haney, he's predictable in one sense, and that is that he will always hang everything off the jab. He can lead with other punches, but he's textbook. He's such a beautifully schooled fighter that I see him just bringing the tools out of the box as the fight goes on, throwing. Suddenly the hooks are appearing, body work. I think he'll definitely go to the body because Garcia, of course, was knocked out by Tank with a body punch. I see Haney doing that. Haney hasn't had a stoppage, since like the 19th century or whatever it is. But I think he's going to get one this time. I think he'll stop Garcia. Garcia might even quit in about 7 rounds, 6, 7, 8 rounds, those sort of middle rounds. The middle third of the fight, anyway. That's my prediction. So if you agree or you disagree, leave your comments below. Tell me who you think is going to win. Are you looking forward to the fight? What do you think of the whole Garcia thing, the whole mental health thing? I just can't see him beating such a disciplined, well-schooled performer as Devin Haney. I think Haney is, top 5, probably top 4, pound for pound. Lovely fighter. And it's still only 25. They're both 25, but what a contrast. What a contrast. So, Haney by stoppage, middle rounds, middle third of the fight is my prediction. If you've got any comments, leave them below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and, of course, leave a like as well. That helps us out a great deal. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got to say, and bye for now.